XTV's news broadcast for Friday, June 27, 2025. Making the headlines tonight, as predicted, it's a bleak finish for the northern sugar crop. Despite industry crisis, Caneros will stand firm on commercial agreement demands. OSH bill finally tabled, and UB terminates professor accused of sexual harassment. We take our first break and return with the news in detail.
Explore the great outdoors with Benny's quality and savings.
Here's how to access your contribution history on the My Social Security portal. First, go to your browser and type ssbportal.org.bz. Enter your email and password, then click Log In. Once logged in, you'll see your full portal account on the screen. On the left-hand side, you'll notice a drop-down menu for added features. Click on History. Choose Contributions. Read the disclaimer, then click Continue. You'll now see a full window displaying your contribution history. In the table, each row represents a different year. For example, let's look at the year 2024. Click on the row and a detailed breakdown will appear. This breakdown includes your employer's name, your earnings for each month and week, contribution type, the amounts paid, and that's how you can explore the new contribution feature on the My Social Security portal. It's quick, easy, and keeps your Social Security information right at your fingertips. Create your account today.
At Atlantic Bank, we stand as more than just a financial institution. We are your partners in progress, dedicated to fostering your success by providing tailored solutions to micro, small, and medium enterprises. Your successes are our triumphs, and every success story deserves to be celebrated. We pledge to stand by you every step of the way. Today, we celebrate the values that define you with your unwavering dedication, steadfast commitment, boundless innovation, resolute work ethic, and unyielding ambition. We will navigate challenges, seize opportunities, and continue building the future together.
Imagine getting rewards for your spending. Smart prepaid customers countrywide, it's time to level up with Smart Gains. Smart Gains are exclusive, limited time offers sent straight to your phone. We're talking irresistible rewards. You'll actually want extra credit, bonus data, and exclusive perks, all tailored to you. Because it's Smart, we've always got your back. Don't miss out on rewards made just for you. Smart Gains, Smart Savings, Smart You. Smart, bringing people together.
Whether the job is big or small, every super handy dad needs the right tools. And at Brothers Habet and Habet, we have what you need. Enjoy super savings all June like 15% off all power tools and hand tools, 25% off track car batteries, Eureka Vats, and Pisaforte towels, 25% off Penta Decon and discontinued colors, 30% off Valspar, and 40% off Dutch Boy paints. Plus, we're giving away $200 to 6 lucky super handy dads. Every $50 you spend gets you a chance to win. So this year, give Dad his best gift yet from Brothers Habet and Habet. Come in or reach out today. Happy Father's Day to all super handy dads.
In 2024, the Belizean diaspora took over Los Angeles with the first ever Belize Diaspora Summit, and you know the only thing that could be ever better than that is to do it again. Belize Diaspora Summit 2.0. This time it takes place in the state of Florida, Fort Lauderdale Board Convention Center, July 10th, the 11th, the 12th. Belizeans from the diaspora, Belizeans from home in Belize, join together. Let's do it again. 3 days, government services, clinics, business displays, kitty corner, pop-up trivias, panel discussions. There will be highlights for business mixers. There will be live performance of Racindo. Destiny Wagner is going to be there. There's going to be a live performance of Makobi. And you will have Immigration and Civil Rights Town Hall, special guest Kenneth Gibson, interview and book reading. There will be a wind-up reception, rhythms and rum. It's happening, Belize Diaspora 2.0, Florida, Fort Lauderdale Power Convention Center. Don't miss it.
Welcome back with your news. I am Drea Espinosa. The 2024-2025 northern sugar crop season came to an end today, and at the House meeting, it was the first subject that Prime Minister John Briceño broached. He described the industry as being in an existential crisis and again called for all hands on deck to move the industry forward. The total production was close to 884,000 tons, similar to 2020, when the crop was severely impacted by drought. Total sugar production this year barely reached 79,000 metric tons, comparable to the low output of 79,000 tons in 2008. It is also 97,800 tons less than last season's sugar production. The PM said the impact is so great that some farmers may exit the industry.
With a production of 880,000 tons of sugarcane producing 78,000 tons of sugar, the industry is projected to earn $110 million, mostly in foreign exchange, representing a significant reduction of $53 million from $163.5 million generated in 2024. Based on the current cane price estimate, farmers are expected to earn no more than $65 per ton of cane this year. This represents a $25 per ton, a reduction of $25 per ton when compared to the $90.23 per ton that was paid out last year. Our farmers will take home $31 million less than they took home last year. Looking ahead, it is clear that fusarium will continue to spread and even become more severe, so much so that this may be the last crop for some of our cane farmers. Next year's sugarcane crop is projected to see another fall in production, and technicians at SCPC and CIRDI are predicting that production could end up being below 700,000 tons. We must therefore urgently make concrete and targeted interventions if we are to avoid this kind of devastation in the sugar industry, as we saw with the citrus greening that almost destroyed the citrus industry.
The PM outlined interventions that have already started. Among them is a $500,000 allocation from the Ministry of Agriculture for a pilot initiative on 2 research plots to rid the fields of the fungus. ASR is also contributing technical expertise from Florida by way of a soil scientist.
With this $500,000 that the Ministry of Agriculture has identified, the plan is to replicate this treatment on a larger scale by working jointly with farmers to treat the first 2,500 acres. Through IECA's Hemispheric Fund for Climate Change disasters like this fungus, $100,000 has been approved for the testing of the native trichoderma fungus, a fungus that is used to control the fusarium fungus currently affecting sugarcane. This will be done using the University of Belize's laboratory and their scientists. It is believed that this treatment may be far more effective and far more economic than importing it from other countries. 3, through the World Bank's project, CRESAP, $2 million. Is this Belize or US? US dollars, yes. $2 million is being allocated to strengthen CIRDI's capacity to produce the trichoderma. Partnering with the private sector as well as international partners such as Brazil and or India, we will seek to obtain sugar varieties that are tolerant or resistant to the fusarium disease, and rapidly assess their performance.
Briceño affirmed that his party will continue to face this and all their other challenges head on, and provided an update on work to bring to life recommendations in the Sugar Industry Inquiry Report.
Tuesday, we'll bring a cabinet paper that has been worked with all the cane farmers, the associations. In March of this year, just before the elections, I set up a small task force of which I appointed senior economists from my office, Dr. Marcelino Avila, that have extensive experience in agriculture. And for context, Madam Leader of the Opposition, he worked with the Esquivel government, directly with Sir Manuel Esquivel when he was the Prime Minister the first time around. So he has a wealth of experience. He has worked in Mexico, he has worked in Africa, he has worked in the Caribbean and Central America. So I put him to lead a group. I met with him and the 4 associations, the chairpersons of the 4 associations, with the chairman of the Sugar Control Board. We had the Ministry of Agriculture represented. We had everyone under one room, and I said, here we have the Commission of Inquiry. I want us to be able to come up with a plan. I said, I don't want to hear no bickering, no fighting who forgive what or who not forgive what. This is about moving forward. And I said, so let's use this Commission of Inquiry, the findings, and come up with a plan on how we can rescue and move this industry forward. I am very pleased to share with you, Mr. Speaker, and with my colleagues that yesterday, Minister Mai, the honorable member from Orange Walk North and the honorable member from Toledo East and myself met with the entire team. And it was a good working meeting. And we met at the offices of the Progressive Cane Farmers Association. And we discussed the plan that they produced based on the Commission of
In recent months, as the full extent of the northern sugar crop's decline was becoming clearer, due largely to the fusarium disease, Minister of Agriculture, Honorable Hossein Mai urged all industry stakeholders to focus their efforts on identifying and implementing solutions. Among his appeals was a call to eliminate spending on costly litigation. Today, he shared that despite the existential crisis facing the sugar industry, the Belize Sugarcane Farmers Association remains resolute in its demand for a fair cane price as part of a long-term commercial agreement with the Miller BSI. He also reminded that another matter the farmers insist on is the payment of the fair trade premiums, but that is currently in court.
What will what's happening right now mean for the discussions of the agreement between BSI and BSEFA?
Wow. I think about that a lot, honestly. The farmers are in the court right now with BSI anti-denial for fair trade funds owed to them. Somewhere in the vicinity, I think, of more than $9 million, I don't know. That is in the courts right now. The farmers want them, their fair trade money. Now there's time for a new commercial agreement. The farmers and the mill are in trouble right now. The mill cannot operate without the farmers, and the farmers cannot operate without the mill. I think that one of the things that the industry needs to start to do is stop spending on expensive litigation. I mean, these people they both have some very expensive attorneys. Well, good attorney, not cheap, right? And so we're spending scarce resources on litigation and not focusing on dealing with the problem at hand.
You've said this already, so the question is, what do you foresee will happen? What are the farmers currently telling you? Are they going to let go of their demands for a fairer payment and a fairer agreement, or will they put that to rest right now because of the difficulties the industry is facing?
No, from what I gather, the farmers want their payment of fair trade. And then the second thing that comes up is the agreement. But that matters in the courts, so the farmers can't do anything about that. So they have to drop back now on the commercial agreement, right? And they will not sign the commercial agreement if the terms and conditions do not favor them, right? And so that is where we are, and I do not know, Marisol, how that will turn out.
The University of Belize today announced the immediate termination of Dr. Piyosaki, having determined that his actions constituted gross misconduct according to the institution's Faculty and Staff Handbook and under the Belize Labor Act. You may recall that several students in April this year formally complained to the university that he acted in an inappropriate manner toward them. They cited sexual harassment. He was placed on administrative leave while an investigation was conducted by an independent ad hoc committee. The findings, which included interviews and evidence gathering, were forwarded to the president and were reviewed by legal counsel. Dr. Vincent Palacio, president of the University of Belize, stated, quote, "The university holds its faculty and staff to the highest professional and ethical standards. We will not tolerate conduct that undermines the safety, dignity, or trust of our academic community. This action reaffirms our commitment to upholding a culture of accountability, integrity, and student-centered learning," end quote. The university also reported that it continues to strengthen its internal processes for prevention, reporting, and support, and encourage all members to report misconduct. Police Minister Kareem Musa today was asked to revisit the one-year $70,000 contract of former Deputy Commissioner Aaron Guzman. First, the minister rejected the notion that it is a crony contract and clarified that Guzman is not only advisor to the CEO, but to the entire ministry.
It's not a crony contract. You're talking about somebody with institutional experience and knowledge as a Deputy Commissioner of Police. And as the Deputy Prime Minister mentioned yesterday, the act of governance, no doubt today, requires all hands on deck. None of you are asking, how is it that you get the results each year that you do? That right now we stand 14 murders less than last year even. That was a record year. Nobody's looking at that. And I'm not saying that all of that is attributed to Mr. Guzman. I'm saying that there are several pieces to this puzzle, starting first and foremost with the officers of our police department who have been doing a phenomenal job in terms of the training that they've been getting, in terms of the LIU interventions that we have, in terms of all of these programs that have been implemented, and the way that crime has evolved so much. We're not talking now just about gang violence or domestic violence. We're talking about cyber security. We're talking about right now our ministry is being asked and tasked to look at animal welfare, as you recall the incident that happened with the horse. And so there's a lot of policies and strategies that somebody like Mr. Guzman can offer his advice to the ministry, not to the CEO, because you ran with that as though it's some special advisor to the CEO.
The minister was asked why the Commissioner of Police cannot play that role.
Guzman has been at the ministry while the commissioner was there. Actually, it was that commissioner that recommended it, Commissioner Williams, that recommended it. So Mr. Guzman has been on for 2 years during the tenure of the former Commissioner of Police.
So one of the questions finally that people bring up now is it brings into question the competence of your Chief Executive Officer.
Again, I want to make the point, and don't cut and splice me because you've been accused of that lately. He is an advisor to the ministry. He's not limited to just advising the Chief Executive Officer, the way Courtney had spun that. You asked the question, look back at the question.
But you didn't clarify A, and then
One
B,
of his
you
duties does require him to advise the CEO as well, but it's to the ministry. Look, and I'll share the contract with you, Paul, because you want to see, but it is to the ministry, not the CEO. So please stop going with that narrative, man.
clarify though when we asked. Okay, but you can't blame me for
the vehicle that he's receiving. This is a vehicle that has already been purchased.
It's a ministry vehicle. It's not for him. It's a ministry vehicle, yes. And after the year is up, then it will belong to the ministry.
So it's a new vehicle being purchased.
It's not a new vehicle, no.
Second hand, but it's not in the ministry's.
It is for the ministry, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It's expected that the contract will be renewed?
It was renewed, I think, 2 months ago, and so it's a 1-year contract. So it will expire.
It's been there for how long?
2 years. 2 years.
It's going to be 3 and expected.
No, this year will make complete 2.
So the fact is,
how many more years will it be?
I just mentioned earlier that it is probably not going to be renewed again after this year.
After the break, BSI denies reports of standing cane being as high as 400,000 tons. Stay with us.
Good game, bro. Good game. Come back tomorrow, make us school up again. See that 3 points that away at the calf, right? Only one on it. Hold on. Boy, you alright?
Something wrong, yeah?
Something have to wrong because you're well distracted.
No, man, at the top of the street light. The one there around my areas, nice and pretty. Watch how this one look dull and orange.
Because this one, the HPS. So if you see any other old fixture, report it to BL, and BL will change it to the bright LED one. Then you see one where the top about, just like that.
But how you do that?
The thing easy. Make I show you something. All you need for do, that go in your BL app and click the option where say street light fault, enter your location, put in the 7-digit number from the pole, press report, and left the rest to BL.
Just like that?
just like that.
Have an old fixture? Report it today using our BEL 24/7 app, bringing you a brighter tomorrow.
Nando's Wholesale is your market leader in Belize's wholesale industry when it comes to high-quality products at the most reasonable and competitive prices. With over 40 years in the wholesale business, Nando's Wholesale embraces the partnership of the hotel industry in Belize by providing world-renowned brands in wines, seasonings, condiments, and cleaners in industrial sizes, as well as small and large kitchen appliances and equipment. Nando's also takes pride in providing one of the quietest and most durable air conditioning systems in Belize with technical support and spare parts. Nando's Wholesale. Professional, reliable, effective, and prompt. Nando's Wholesale always delivers. Visit us at www.nandos.bz or send an email to nandos@nandos.bz. Or, even better yet, give us a call today at 222-500 or 280-8080 to speak to one of our sales representatives today.
Here's how to access your contribution history on the My Social Security portal. First, go to your browser and type ssbportal.org.bz. Enter your email and password, then click Log In. Once logged in, you'll see your full portal account on the screen. On the left-hand side, you'll notice a drop-down menu for added features. Click on History, choose Contributions, read the disclaimer, then click Continue. You'll now see a full window displaying your contribution history. In the table, each row represents a different year. For example, let's look at the year 2024. Click on the row and a detailed breakdown will appear. This breakdown includes your employer's name, your earnings for each month and week, contribution type, the amounts paid, and that's how you can explore the new contribution feature on the My Social Security portal. It's quick, easy, and keeps your Social Security information right at your fingertips. Create your account today.
Welcome to Design Depot, where you'll find premium quality products from trusted brands, all in one place. Visit us today for quality products, expert service, and the brands you trust. Design Depot, all in one place.
Whether you are a busy person or stuck in traffic or having an adverse or very demanding circumstance, tension builds up, causing you to be stressed out. Stress attacks everyone, anytime, any age. And stress is a killer. Palm City? It's best to be alive than dead. So visit Freetown Drugstore to get options to relieve stress and to relax your mind.
Yes, sir. What can I do for you today?
I'm so stressed out.
Okay, I'm saying I help you right now. When I this daily? For 10 days, I am good after that, okay?
Okay.
Freetown Drugstore, 28 Freetown Road, where you are better off alive than dead. Freetown Drugstore, telephone 223-2876.
In 2024, the Belizean diaspora took over Los Angeles with the first ever Belize Diaspora Summit, and you know the only thing that could be ever better than that is to do it again. Belize Diaspora Summit 2.0. This time it takes place in the state of Florida, Fort Lauderdale Board Convention Center, July 10th, the 11th, the 12th. Belizeans from the diaspora, Belizeans from home in Belize, join together. Let's do it again. 3 3 days. Government services, clinics, business displays, kitty corner, pop-up trivias, panel discussions. There will be highlights for business mixers. There will be live performance of Racindio. Destiny Wagner is going to be there. There's going to be a live performance of Makobi. And you will have Immigration and Civil Rights Town Hall. Special guest Kenneth Gibson, interview and book reading. There will be a wind-up reception, rhythms and rum. It's happening. Police Dashboard 2.0, Florida, Fort Lauderdale, Power Convention Center. Don't miss it.
After over a decade, the Occupational Safety and Health Bill, OSH, was introduced at the House of Representatives today. A draft of the OSH bill was first presented to Cabinet in 2014. In the last 5 years, the National Trade Union Congress of Belize, NTUCB, launched a campaign for the government to rush the OSH. Much progress was made in recent years between the Chamber of Commerce and Industry and NTUCB on the bill, but it took some time to get approval from the Ministry of Labor that was then responsible to take the draft bill to Cabinet. The bill defines the duties of employers, workers, suppliers, and property owners and incorporates protections for whistleblowers who report on unsafe workplace conditions. It also mandates the notification and investigation of workplace accidents and diseases. Here is Labor Minister Honorable Florencio Marin, Jr.
It also requires the establishment of workplace safety committees and the appointment of worker representatives, while addressing both physical and psychosocial hazards, including mental health risks, particularly relevant today. The bill empowers the authorities to issue improvement and prohibition notices, impose administrative penalties, and provide for legal appeals. Initial implementation of the bill will be supported through the ministry's budget with technical support from the ILO. Mr. Speaker, this bill is not just a legal reform. It is a human rights issue, a labor issue, and a development issue. It reflects this government's commitment to decent work, public health, and sustainable economic growth. This submission, Mr. Speaker, is a nation taking a bold and necessary step on behalf of every hard-working Belizean, Mr. Speaker. This bill will be a game changer for the country, for all our workers, our employers.
Marin detailed some of the significant changes that were made to the bill.
One of the most significant features of this final draft of the OSH bill is the restructuring of the institutional framework for OSH governance. Initial proposals had recommended establishing a standalone occupational safety and health authority alongside a dedicated OSH inspectorate. However, based on guidance from the International Labour Organization and a careful review of Belize's national context, this model was reconsidered. The ILO advised that rather than creating a new statutory body, Belize should establish a national OSH advisory committee and a dedicated OSH inspectorate under the Ministry of Labour. This recommendation was based on several key factors. First, it promotes administrative efficiency and long-term institutional sustainability by leveraging existing structures within the Labor Department, thereby avoiding role duplication and ensuring cost-effective implementation. Second, it facilitates better integration and coordination within the wider labor administration system, critical for effective compliance and enforcement. However, for the model to be successful, it was emphasized that it must be adequately resourced. This includes recruitment, specialized training, and targeted capacity building to empower inspectors and staff to fulfill their roles and responsibilities. As Belize's economy evolves and our workforce grows, the OSH Inspectorate may still become a separate statutory body in the future. This model allows for growth and transition as time goes by.
In an interview, Minister Marin assured that there was consultation with relevant stakeholders for the final changes in the bill and noted that funds have already been budgeted to start its implementation within the ministry. As we shared at the beginning of the news, today at 8 a.m. marked the end of the sugarcane crop season. The total cane received by BSI this season amounts to just under 884,000 metric tons, which places it as one of the top 3 worst on record. As to quality, the crop also saw a tons of sugar to tons of cane of 11.2, which is the lowest since 2010. Director of Finance at ASR BSI, Sean Chavarria, spoke more on the crop and the many challenges that led to a disappointing yield.
This morning, we concluded the 2024-2025 milling season. The total cane received is just under 884,000 metric tons of cane. That's a low for us. The previous low was in the 2020 crop when we had the impacts of the severe drought from 2019, where we had milled just slightly under 900,000 metric tons of cane. So for us, it's not a very good crop, and what has compounded it is the lower quality of cane that we received this year. Our TCTS, we're still going to be liquidating the factory in the coming days, but our TCTS will end up somewhere around 11.1, 11.2, which is one of the lowest we've seen since the 2010 crop. Total sugar production is estimated after liquidation to be somewhere around just under 79,000 metric tons of sugar cane. That's certainly one of the lowest we've had in the past 35 to 40 years. The previous low was in 2008 when we had produced just over 79,000 metric tons. So we'll be below that figure. And so it's not a very good crop from our standpoint. It's been very challenging. We've had a lot of issues with weather, disease. We had long stops as well due to heavy rains at the early outset of the crop. In February and March, we had stopped for a total of 12 days. We had a lot of out of cane scenario where farmers are struggling to meet the milling requirements. We understand that there's a lot of challenges with cane cutters.
Chavarria explained that ASR BSI incurred some losses and added that following a poor crop, everyone loses.
Everyone this year will take a massive hit. From our standpoint, production compared to last year, which even at that level was not ideal at 104,000 metric tons of cane, we're going to be 25% below that figure. So our losses will be significant this year in the tens of millions of dollars. Growers will similarly see a reduction in the cane price, not only because sugar prices have been lower, but the quality of cane, that TCTS ratio is much higher. And so from the same cane, you're getting less sugar. That will impact the sugar price. So from an economic standpoint, there will be a lower cane price this year, driven not only by market forces, but the situation on the ground with lower cane supply and lower cane quality. The mill will lose money. Even energy sales to the grid will be impacted because we have less cane that we've milled and therefore less bagasse and therefore less output to the grid. So it's all around a big hit that the industry will take. We know that the Prime Minister has appointed a working group following the submission of the Commission of Inquiry report to look at some of these factors, including replanting. And we believe that the government has, taken and received that report, and we'll be looking at how it can inject some funding to look at some of these issues of renovating fields, improving cane quality, looking at harvest and delivery, and trying to give the growers an opportunity to get their fields renovated.
After each crop closes, there is usually standing cane left in the fields that could not be harvested. There are reports that up to 400,000 tons of standing cane remain in the fields following the closing of the crop season. ASR-BSI's Olivia Avales refuted the claims, saying that their figures show that the number is closer to 100,000 tons.
We do know that there is some standover, and we will do the field by field inspection. Our last report had 62,000 acres of area harvested. And the total amount varies between crop, but it's around 65 and 67,000 acres harvested. We have more under production, that we have fields that are seen as abandoned or standover for 2-3 crops, and the cane cutters don't want to cut it. But I think the number now stands to maybe around 5% of the cane that was left out. We will do those reconnaissance with the Sugarcane Production Committee, but nothing in that range. I don't think it even has reached to 100,000.
Sean Chavarria blamed an inefficient harvest and delivery system for the standing cane. He said with a more efficient system, the crop could have been much over soon.
If the harvest and delivery system was working more efficiently, the crop could have been done weeks ago, maybe even a month ago.
With higher numbers.
Yes, because the mill had been operating some days where it had to completely stop because it was waiting for sugarcane. And so a lot of time was lost with out of cane and slow milling because of the challenges farmers are having with the cane cutter shortage and not being able to meet the daily mill requirement. So that's something we also need to work on for the upcoming year. But as Olivia said, we expect that there is very little cane that left as standover. In fact, 2 weeks ago, when we had crop progress meeting with the farmers, we had actually reached out to each harvest or test group to get how much cane they had left. And at that time, they had indicated around 80,000 tons of cane. And between then and now, we probably received around 60,000 tons of that. So we're expecting that it could be maybe just between 20 to 30,000 at the most that might be left. And it was left because of weather. We started receiving rains. And so everyone's been having a more difficult time to get in their cane. But as I said, if we had been operating at a more efficient level from a harvest and delivery standpoint, the crop would have been over.
In a recent interview, the Minister of Agriculture, Honorable Hussein Mai, sounded the alarm that next year's sugarcane crop is expected to be significantly smaller than the recently concluded crop. According to Mai, the crop may potentially be too small to be viable for BSI's mill. Today, Olivia Avales of ASR-BSI said that it is too early to speculate.
I think it's a bit premature to call out numbers before a crop ends, for sure, because you're looking at different. First of all, you need to know what came in. Fusarium and these diseases definitely have caused an impact. So we will have to do assessments in the ground, and there are methodologies to do that, production estimates. We do think that the crop has been impacted this year, but we also have some rains which have really helped throughout the crop. And a lot of the times it's about the quantity of water that you have. So we'll have to do the assessments on the ground. And it's important to be based on scientifical methods, no? So.
As to the question about the smallest crop that can still be profitable, for ASR BSI, Sean Chavarria explained that the company is already sustaining losses following the recent crop.
Well, even at the current level this year of 883,000 metric tons of sugarcane, we are making losses. So clearly, if we get less cane, our losses will be greater. And that's why we know that this isn't a quick fix. To do a lot of these initiatives will take some time. The importance for us is that we need to see clear signal that there is going to be this push to drive some of these reforms and initiatives that are needed to help turning around this industry. As we've said, these problems are solvable. We know what needs to be done. We just need the partnership and the support to get it done.
In other agriculture news, we recently reported the issue in San Antonio, Cayo, where farmers are complaining they are unable to sell their locally produced red potatoes. According to the farmers, the local consumers prefer the white potatoes, which are brought in as contraband from Mexico. Close to 1 million pounds of potato may spoil as a result. Today, the Minister of Agriculture, Honorable Jose Mai, told the media that the potatoes are actually bought at a cheaper price and stored in cold storage to then be sold at the end of the crop at a higher price when the produce is scarce. Mai said he believes the farmers miscalculated this time.
I think they didn't manage to balance it well, because you cannot force people to pay a high price. They met and they said we have a contraband problem. Contraband has always been there, right? The question is, you have to manage it. Is it that much that will allow you to lose or not? Baja, supplies control, extension officers, customs have been out there, and we haven't seen much white potatoes on the market. You see them now and again, okay? So we are telling them that we are controlling it, but storing the potatoes, holding it, and releasing it until the end of the crop at $2 a pound is not cutting it for the consumer, right? And the producer deserves the best, but the consumer also deserves the best in quality and in price. And so I think that they miscalculated the time, right? And of course, we control the importation of this. We control how much is imported. And so they were saying, well, you hold on the importation until I could sell a potato at $2 a pound. Potatoes in Drea was selling at $1.80. So when they met with my team told them, you are selling at $2 a pound. Drea is $1.80. So the wholesalers would go to Drea to buy at $1.80. They were selling at wholesale price at $2 a pound.
Mai added that he believes the farmer's product will sell, but he does not support the practice as the produce is now at an inferior quality. After the break, Santander has not been affected by fusarium. Stay tuned.
Imagine getting rewards for your spending. Smart prepaid customers countrywide, it's time to level up with Smart Gains. Smart Gains are exclusive, limited-time offers sent straight to your phone. We're talking irresistible rewards. You'll actually want extra credit, bonus data, and exclusive perks, all tailored to you. Because at Smart, we've always got your back. Don't miss out on rewards made just for you. Smart Gains, Smart Savings, Smart You. Smart, bringing people together.
At Atlantic Bank, we stand as more than just a financial institution. We are your partners in progress, dedicated to fostering your success by providing tailored solutions to micro, small, and medium enterprises. Your successes are our triumphs, and every success story deserves to be celebrated. We pledge to stand by you every step of the way. Today, we celebrate the values that define you with your unwavering dedication, steadfast commitment, boundless innovation, resolute work ethic, and unyielding ambition. We will navigate challenges, seize opportunities, and continue building the future together.
Earn V-Bucks and get a chance to win a $10,000 homecation with Benny's. Quality and savings.
Here's how to access your contribution history on the My Social Security portal. First, go to your browser and type ssbportal.org.bz. Enter your email and password, then click Log In. Once logged in, you'll see your full portal account on the screen. On the left-hand side, you'll notice a drop-down menu for added features. Click on History. Choose Contributions. Read the disclaimer, then click Continue. You'll now see a full window displaying your contribution history. In the table, each row represents a different year. For example, let's look at the year 2024. Click on the row and a detailed breakdown will appear. This breakdown includes your employer's name, your earnings for each month and week, contribution type, the amounts paid, and that's how you can explore the new contribution feature on the My Social Security portal. It's quick, easy, and keeps your Social Security information right at your fingertips. Create your account today.
In 2024, the Belizean diaspora took over Los Angeles with the first ever Belize Diaspora Summit, and you know the only thing that could be ever better than that is to do it again. Belize Diaspora Summit 2.0. This time it takes place in the state of Florida, Fort Lauderdale Board Convention Center, July 10th, the 11th, the 12th. Belizeans from the diaspora, Belizeans from home in Belize, join together. Let's do it again. 3 days, government services, clinics, business displays, kitty corner, pop-up trivias, panel discussions. There will be highlights for business mixers. There will be a live performance. Rasindo, Destiny Wagner is going to be there. There's going to be a live performance of Makobi. And you will have Immigration and Civil Rights Town Hall. Special guest Kenneth Gibson, interview and book reading. There will be a wind-up reception, rhythms and rum. It's happening, Belize Diaspora 2.0, Florida, Fort Lauderdale Board Convention Center. Don't miss it.
A major issue that has led to poorer sugarcane quality is the age of the cane in the fields. ASR-BSI's Director of Finance, Sean Chavarria, explained that having an older crop has led to sugarcane being more susceptible to diseases, as has been experienced in the north.
One thing that as an industry we really need to tackle is the age of the cane. In other words, why the cane is susceptible to pests and disease is because it has not been replanted for many, many years. And so an unhealthy cane, just like a person, if you are unhealthy, if you catch a cold or a flu, you have higher chances of ending up in the hospital. And I think that is what we are seeing today, that the fields need to be renovated urgently in order for it to be a healthier cane with new varieties that are more resistant to some of these pests and diseases. And that way we can see the cane will be more in a better position to tackle some of these disease and pests, because that happens. We're talking about agriculture. We have these issues, but a healthy plant has more resistance and can take on the chin some of these issues that we're seeing.
Olivia Aviles explained that replanting is generally recommended after every 5 to 7 years. However, many of the sugarcane plantations up north have not been replanted in the last 15 to 20 years.
The normal recommendation to leave a cane field is around 5 to 7 years, depending on the varieties. So that is the general recommendation. And yes, we are seeing that the ratoons are pretty old, to around 15 to 20 years. And so that's where you have the weak and the health issues in the sugarcane field. Additional to that, those soils that they're growing that cane on for 15, 20 years have not been renovated, have not been addressed with organic material, and sugar cane is burnt, manual cutting is burnt every single year. You also sterilize those soils. So additional to the cane age or the ratoon age, you have the deterioration of the soils on which that is growing.
Aviles explained how the deterioration of health of the plants has led to the poor quality of the sugarcane.
It's the accumulation of the different symptoms of the injuries that we've been suffering over the years in the field. Sean explained the replanting issues. Our cane fields are old, but the one thing we know is that we are in a really, really critical state. And Fusarium fungus, it's a fungus, is just that one symptom that has landed us really in the ICU at this point. But all the symptoms with pests and diseases have been seen. Frog hopper, then leading to stem borer in 2019 to 2020 crop season. We're not addressing that issue. And stem borer is a pest that makes a hole in the sugar cane and starts to eat it from the inside out, and allows the fusarium then to get in to the plant. And this is, again, symptoms of old crops or old plantations that really need to be replanted, and the transformation really needs to happen.
While the sugar industry is in crisis in the north, the Santander Sugar Group out west has practically been unbothered by the pests that are affecting the northern cane fields. Today, ASR BSI's Director of Finance, Sean Chavarria, told the media that he has been in contact with personnel from Santander who have indicated no negative impact stemming from Fusarium. Chavarria explained what their Western counterparts do differently that has shielded them from the infection.
In speaking with them, the feedback is that they didn't see the impacts of Fusarium like we did in the sugar industry. But as we highlighted earlier, they have a good program of replanting. So their fields are, relatively new. They bring new varieties as well. They have a good farming system. So overall, their cane is healthy. And so I think would see less susceptibility to pest and disease. So I think to answer your question, from what we understand and in discussions with them, they did not see any major negative impacts from Fusarium.
With labor shortages being an issue, cane farmers in the north have begun to explore investing in a mechanical system. ASR BSI's Sean Chavarria welcomed the change, as he said the lack of cane cutters was one of the reasons for a low crop yield for the latest crop.
Harvesting of sugarcane can be mechanized. So those issues that we're seeing with shortage of deliveries can be addressed if we improve the fields to make them more, to allow mechanical harvesting. And some farmers have already taken that leap to start investing in harvesters, and that will go a long way in terms of reducing costs and ensuring that they deliver their sugar cane.
In one final sugar industry story, despite the many setbacks, the disappointing yield of the latest sugarcane crop, and the losses that have been experienced of late, BSI executives still believe that the northern sugar industry can bounce back. ASR BSI's Sean Chavarria explained that it doesn't take a drastic improvement in the sugarcane fields for there to be a higher quality of sugarcane. He also explained that there is funding available for farmers to improve their fields and could leave room for them to invest in other crops simultaneously with sugarcane.
I think the hope that we have is that our problems are solvable. All these issues that we're facing, they can be solved. We've highlighted the importance of renovating fields. If farmers can get the proper agrocredit needed to renovate their fields, that's a big step. Also, the yields in Belize are one of the lowest in the world. We have enough land out there right now that can probably supply, if those fields are operating at a very productive level. We probably have enough land for 2 sugar mills here. So if you can just improve 20%, 30% the productivity of those lands, you are filling the capacity here. And in fact, growers could even say, look, if I'm improving my yields, if I have 10, 20 acres in land, maybe I could, with better productivity, allocate 15 acres to sugarcane, and I can do 5 acres with something else. So that improved productivity gives the growers options of other things that they could probably venture into. Some of them still do cash crops, like, plant corn or beans during idle season. So it offers more opportunity if your land is productive. So that is the hope we have. I know Olivia can speak more on this. There's also grant funding that is out there through the Green Climate Fund that is being implemented from the 5Cs to tackle some of these issues as well.
And a couple weeks ago, a canoe race was held in Copper Bank, Corozal. It was a collaboration between the Belize Audubon Society, the Belize Fisheries Department, and fishers from Copper Bank and Chinook. The event featured 13 teams of 2 in-hand carved Kayoko boats, which are similar to canoes. The event also introduced a digital way for fishers to log catch data using an app on a phone. Fisher Carlos Arevalo, who assisted with the event, said it was a success.
Well, we had for this month was Fisherman Month. We have lots of activities, and one of the activities we brought at Copper Bank is a canoe race, where also in that same area we were doing the logbook phone digital. So we usually use a book, but a book usually gonna get wet out there. So we get some phone, some fishermen have their phone. We log in the logbook in their phone so they can do it digital now. And that was one of the things at Copperbank. At the same time, we had the canoe reel where we have 13 dories with 2 fishermen in each dory. So we had 26 fishermen running for that race. And we had first place, I think, was guys from Chunush and also guys from Copper One winning. And the more exciting thing was the prize was very, ambitious for the people. It was $600, and everybody running for that $600. But it was something also for the family. If we gathered to care our family, that was not only a canoe race, it was a time also with the family, seeing their husband and paddling their canoes, and that it was something very exciting that happened in Copper Bank.
And with that, we've come to the end of our newscast. The repeat can be viewed on this station later tonight at 9 and again Monday at midday. Join us again Monday for another news broadcast. I am Drea Espinosa. Have a safe and enjoyable weekend.